So here's the deal. I uploaded a video about Tyler Van Dyke possibly considering a transfer to Alabama late last night or early this morning. It was around 1 a.m. I received a lot of hate for that video, but it's mostly because either people just don't want it to be true because they like Tyler Van Dyke, or because they believe that I'm just spreading around a bunch of BS rumors. It has now, today, been reported by multiple sports outlets and reporters that cover Miami Hurricanes football. So what I want to talk about in this video is, yes, more Tyler Van Dyke talk, because it is the hot topic right now. And, for people who jump in and they're like, Coop is just trying to ride this train and this and that. Well, my job is to talk Miami Hurricanes football on YouTube. This is what everyone is talking about right now on social media. So, of course, that's also what I'm going to be reporting on. But specifically in this video, what I want to talk about is this right here. Go ahead, pause the video if you want to take a closer look. There are many news outlets that are reporting that this is happening because Tyler Van Dyke is frustrated or unhappy with his current NIL situation here at Miami, the NIL deals that he has, that he's just, saying that maybe it's not enough, or that, certain places aren't holding up their end of the deal, whatever that may be. He's unhappy with the NIL situation here at Miami. And I don't necessarily believe that that is the case, or at the very least, it's not the main reason why. But anyways, let's talk about it. What's going on, Canes fans? Now, before we dive deep into this one, just like in the previous video, I need to add a few disclaimers. Even though all of the children in the room refuse to hear them, or they just pretend like I didn't say it because it doesn't fit their agenda. First off, I am in no way downing Tyler Van Dyke in these videos. I'm actually, as a matter of fact, trying to discourage fans from doing so. And I'm seeing a lot of people jump on social media and Twitter and Facebook and the YouTube videos and just straight dogging TVD, when at the end of the day, only he truly knows what's going on right now. And, maybe his agent or some of his family members, but we don't really know every single little detail. And we actually don't even know how this thing is going to end. So it's a really bad look for our fan base if we just straight dog him and trash him when nothing may even come of this. If you don't like these types of videos, please move along, leave a dislike on your way out, and hit the door. You're not going to hurt my feelings. If you don't like, speculation and discussing hot, controversial topics, don't watch these particular videos. It's okay, I promise. Let's dive into this thing with the disclaimers out of the way. I showed this news story right here in the intro. And, based off of what I've been told, keeping in mind that I could, in fact, be wrong, it's more so Tyler's agent just picking up the phone when it rings and having a conversation. Not so much that Tyler himself is super upset about his NIL situation, which I'm here to tell you is not a bad thing. And that's because it's his agent's job to land him deals and make him the big bucks. It is a business at the end of the day. So this guy is quite literally just doing his job. He just has Tyler Van Dyke's best interest in mind. It is what it is. We as Canes fans, of course, don't view it that way, because we see it as, someone potentially bringing other offers to the table to try to take our quarterback, but it's just the reality of the situation. And right now, Bama is not the only team that's potentially interested in reaching out. There are absolutely members of collectives that, work their way through back channels and touch base with agents and just gauge the interest and see if there's anything there. I mean, have you guys ever heard of a burner phone? I don't know. Maybe some of you guys are too young, but some of you know what I'm talking about. Anyways, it's believed that multiple SEC schools and possibly schools in other conferences, but, anytime the SEC gets brought up, that's always at the forefront and everyone talks about that. But multiple SEC schools are potentially interested in Tyler if he did decide to hit the portal, which keep in mind, he has not entered the portal at this time. But if he was going to do so, he doesn't have a whole lot of time. If I'm not mistaken, I believe it closes again at the end of this month or very close to it. So we're talking another like 10 days possibly. So if he's going to make a move, we would know very soon. Now, I don't know how many deals that Tyler still has specifically, because a lot of that stuff, the numbers aren't made public and there aren't a whole lot of details released out to the regular people. But I do know that in 2022, he had a name, image, and likeness evaluation of approximately $774,000. I think it was like top 10 or top 20 in the country at the time. That doesn't mean you're going to land that amount of money in deals and various different things, but that was just the evaluation. And keep in mind, these companies and places are still trying to figure out how to really navigate all of this NIL stuff. But I do know that he had a deal with a trading card company. He had the deal with Life Wallet, and then he also had a BMW through an auto dealer. And I think there were some other miscellaneous NIL deals and things that he had as well. Now, if we're all being honest, I'm sure after what happened last year, no matter who you want to point the finger at, his evaluation probably dropped. So there are, other Power 5 quarterbacks out there that are definitely making more. But at the end of the day, most people that I have specifically spoken with have made it known that Tyler has not expressed any frustration over his NIL deals here at Miami. Now, that doesn't mean that he possibly does feel that way, or maybe there have been discussions behind closed doors, but as far as him being very vocal about it and anyone really knowing that he's upset, over any NIL stuff here, that doesn't seem to be the case. At this point in time, it really just appears to be people in his corner that are trying to keep his best interest and future in mind, which again is understandable. Now keep in mind that I said if here, Tyler Van Dyke is actually interested in, pursuing some of these options and leaving Miami, Alabama is a place that could make sense for him. But at the same time, I want you to pay attention to this part. I do think that it would actually be a very strange move for a couple of different reasons. Number one, he would have to compete with Jalen Milroe and some other quarterbacks that are there in that room at Alabama. I don't think that they would bring him in over there. I don't think this is a Saban type thing to do. I don't think they would bring him in and just guarantee him a starting spot. I've heard other people mention this as well, so I'm not the first one to say it. But I do think that is a way to kind of hurt the team, right? The morale and the trust. You probably kind of break that if you take that approach. And also, it would be very strange because TVD seems like a pretty stand-up guy. There does come a point in time where you have to think about yourself and your own career. But why would he stay at Miami throughout the entire spring, take up all those first-team reps, work on learning Dawson's new offense, just to turn around and bail at the end of it, a week after the spring game? So that would be very strange and, doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I do need to add, however, just, playing devil's advocate here, stranger things have happened, and there are plenty of arguments you could make for him to actually want to leave. Lots and lots of reasons. But again, we can argue just as many reasons why he should stay and why he would want to stay. But in the end, it actually would shock me if Tyler Van Dyke did decide to go. I mean, he's guaranteed the starting spot here. He's QB number one without a doubt. And, we're hoping that Dawson's offense does fit his skill set, and it is much closer to, something like Lashley's offense. We can go tempo, we're going vertical. But, that doesn't mean that it's all rainbows and unicorns at the University of Miami. I don't know how these conversations go between him and Dawson. I don't know if, there's some trust issues possibly with the O-line or some of the receivers because, this guy's trying to make it to the NFL. And sometimes you have to take some, big time steps, make some drastic moves to help improve your chances there. I'm just saying. And now that I think about it, I never even gave a prediction in my last video about if I think he stays or he's going to leave. And it's because Who knows? This is a situation that's continuing to evolve by the minute, and there's a lot of speculation, and there's so many different rumors and people throwing out all these different things on social media. So all I'm doing at this point in time is just trying to pass the info along, and honestly, maybe even take a little bit of heat off of Tyler Van Dyke, because he is a human after all, and he is also right now a family member. He is a Miami Hurricane. I just personally believe that this is one of those situations where it's well, let's at least see what's behind door number 2, door number 3, because if we didn't at least open them and see what's there, then, later on down the road, we might be wondering if there could have been a better opportunity there that should have been taken. And there have been some question marks lately when it comes to payments through Life wallets. I'm not going to dive much deeper into that or speculate there, but some things have been said when it comes to that. And just right now, the landscape of college football has changed. It's very different from what it used to be, and this is sort of the new norm now. I saw some other people mention that not only are you having to recruit new players and try to get them to commit and come to the University of Miami and play football, you're also having to continually recruit your own players, because there's so much poaching that goes on and behind the scenes phone calls and things and trying to lure guys over. It's just college football now. The move that makes the most sense in my head is that Tyler Van Dyke stays put. He's QB number 1 at Miami. Hopefully he likes the Dawson offense and he can ball out in 2023, and his agent can try to work out some additional deals if there are some money issues, to kind of help him feel a little bit better on the financial side of things here at Miami. Because I do believe that Tyler Van Dyke has shown that he has a skill set that would be a good fit for the NFL. But I will say that I don't think he can afford another season like he had last year. I think that would hurt his draft stock a lot. The best thing I feel like he could do right now, if his plan is to stay, is to put out some sort of announcement on social media. All he's got to do is go to Twitter and put the throwing up the U emoji, or put up something, go Canes, just something to stop the mass panic and chaos that's going on within the fan base. And at the same time, though, it's not his job, so to say, to do that, because the fans, were escalating this thing, and there's all these different reports and stuff coming out about it. But if he puts it to rest, everyone can kind of rally behind him, and the fans will have his back. So we'll see. As people say, sometimes where there's smoke, there's fire. Sometimes no answer means that something is going on, but at the same time, there's so much. It's a situation that's continuing to evolve and change by the minute. So it is what it is. But I really don't like seeing people put out that Tyler Van Dyke is all about the money, and this is due to him not being happy with his NIL deals, and he should be getting paid as much as some of these other big-time Power 5 quarterbacks are being paid, when I've not seen him say that anywhere. And, I would never be upset at his agent for at least just seeing what's out there, because we're all trying to climb some sort of ladder in life, and everyone needs money. It's what makes the world go round. That's just how it is, man. So I can't throw shade at them for that. But I do think him staying does make the most sense, and that's me setting my Canes pride aside. Am I going to predict that's what happens? Absolutely not, because that might change 5 minutes from now. It might have changed by the time I upload this video. I'm just saying. But just passing along some more information, and I'll try to keep you guys up to date as stuff comes out, even if it's small stuff, because this is something that's very big. It's a very big deal, because if TVD does bolt, that leaves Jakari and Emory. Does Miami need to look for a transfer portal QB? Do they already have one in place in case something does happen here? I've heard that as well. We'll see. Remember, though, guys, we're all one big happy college football family, but at the end of the day, I got to say, it's always better when you get to rep the U. Coach Coop, peace out. I'll see y'all in the next one.